Hello everybody, welcome to the decks of the weekend. In front of me I have Hammer Time, a deck that a lot of people called dead, and it was honestly pretty dead for a while, especially after the Lord of the Rings set came out. Because what happened in the metagame? In the metagame happened that Lord of the Rings set came out, the One Ring pushed the Solitude decks over the moon, but now those are slowly coming down, as well as the Pro Tour. The three winners of the Pro Tour were Scam, Team of Rhinos, and Kron, and Hammer Time has a good matchup against those, or at least is not as bad as the other one. Plus, Force of Vigor is an all-time low because people are now focusing on Exiling effect like Tierra Sander, for example. Overall, all of these things are making so that Hammer Time has now won two of the biggest events that happen outside of the PT, of course. It won the Modern Super Qualifier the weekend of the PT, and last weekend it won the Modern Showcase Challenge. That was like a over 300 people event, as well as the previous one also was that large. So yeah, if you were a number 10 player and put it down because it was bad in the metagame, it's now back to be a very good chance in the metagame, especially since Preordain is now pushing those Murktide numbers as well, and Hammer Time has always been very good against Murktide. Forge New is the new card, but it's fine. Like, it's not gonna make this deck better than it was before. It's probably okay, but nothing big deal. This version here is the one from Travis, who is playing the For Miracle Solitude thing. I'm still not honestly sold about it. Today I played a league with this deck, and honestly, the Miracle did me more damage than not. I died to Blood Moon one game. I took 3 damage another game. That was game changing. So I'm still not sure about that. I am not an Hammer Time player, so I don't know if you should play Mono White or Blue White. Back in the days, I loved Mono White more because Blood Moon was very popular. Now Blood Moon is not very popular. Blood Moon is not that well positioned in the metagame, so I think it's, I don't know. Honestly, every decision is reasonable. I do agree that Hammer Time now feels good in the metagame. It was good this morning in the league. You'll see the in the next days. So yeah, stay tuned for that. My good friend Piego and T came second in the in that same event in the showcase, losing to Hammer Time in the final. He was playing the the blue red deck, the blue red deck that we all love, Murktide. This was his list. He was playing with three Ledger Shredder, a card that a lot of people put down. I love. If you watch my Sunday Murktide videos, you know how much I love it. I'm definitely going back to three, probably four though, because the card is just fantastic, and the narrative around this card being bad against Orc, I think it's just false. Especially with Preordain now, you have more ways to just double spell, getting two, just get rid of your extra lanes, you don't flood, and so on and so forth. So I'm not a big fan of the full Murktide as you watched in the last video on Sunday. Never liked the Force of Negation subtlety part of the deck in the main deck, but overall, I think that Murktide is good. The result this weekend has definitely showed quite a lot of Murktides around the challenges and, of course, the second place in the showcase. So, this is wow, look at this question here. Why playing 3 Orc in a meta full of orcs? He's classic. Orc doesn't kill Shredder. Yeah, like. But yeah, this is the modern part. Let's move to the legacy, where another old archetype that everyone thought was dead because of Orc instead just won the most recent challenge, which is that in taxes. XJ Cloud is a player. He's the Magical Line player that just pushes this archetype. Always has had the Yorion. You've seen some lists without Yorion. Honestly, I played that black white version without Yorion, and I really felt that the Yorion was just way too good. You have just Ether Vial in a deck that just goes to late game every time, and the power level is like, you just look at this list and you can't really say, oh yeah, this card should be bad. Shouldn't be in your deck. Actually, this list is missing like the initiative or the monarchy that you can pick up with a recruiter, so you still can have more slots if you want to. There's 4 Thoughtseize in the list as way to just have extra interaction. The mana base has, of course, more fetch land to have the Black Splash of Thoughtseize and, of course, Orc. Legacies right now in a world where mid range is very popular, control decks are doing a little bit worse, mostly because Orc is just so good against Planeswalkers. Overall, Legacy is kind of in a world that's very similar to last to how many years was that? 4 years ago. Sorry for saying last year. 4 years ago, where you either played Ran and Six or you played a combo deck that didn't care about Ran and Six, and Orcish Bowmaster is kind of that. It's a very good card, brainstorm level of a good card that you kind of need to play if you want to have a good mid-range deck. Does that mean they ban it? Maybe in the future. I don't think it's going to get banned anytime soon, especially since that there is still diversity. It's not that Orc only goes in one deck. So it's not like Underworld Breach, you know? There's a little bit of diversity, but at the same time, it's a very good card. So the hint taxes won the challenge despite the Orc being in the format killing Thalia, mostly because you get to play Orc. You have a Recruiter to get Orc. You have Flicker Wisp to blink Orc, and you are. So it's kind of like whoever can exploit this card better. Grixis Delver is doing very well with Orc. Blue Black Shadow is doing very well with Orc, and so on and so forth. But overall, it's definitely a mid-range world right now. Combo decks exist. I mean, it's Legacy, so you can enter zero very easily, but the mid-range decks definitely fold to this archetype. So it is a classic Legacy environment right now. Let's talk about Pauper, where the classic environment has been kind of moved a little bit with some of the downshifting that happened in Commander Masters. This list in particular by Mogd, one of the Magical Line Grinders, is very interesting. He was playing blue, I guess I can say blue-white affinity because there's also the Black Splash for the Blood Fountain. But his deck is playing two cards that were previously uncommon that are now commons, thanks to Commander Masters. You have Old Decklists and you have Reverse Engineer. Reverse Engineer has made so that you don't play with the very powerful Deadly Dispute or Reckoning's Bargain anymore, but you just have Thoughtcast and Reverse Engineer. All that glitters pumping your whatever Ornithopter can just one shot people. Since of course, like every card in your deck is an artifact or draws into more artifacts. You have Kenku Artificer, of course, but yeah, overall, this is definitely a new take on Affinity. We'll see. And also, I just noticed this is a Affinity deck that plays Dust to Dust. I don't think that ever happened in the Pauper history of Affinity. But overall, there's definitely a lot of changes, and the new set, Wilds of Eldraine, will come in what 1 month, maybe less than that. So there'll always be new cards, and by far, Pauper is the most changing format, especially with Standard not rotating this September. So Pauper is by far the most changing format because of the rotation. So if you follow this format, there's a lot of things going on every set, every few months, and the cards are that cheap that you can easily just buy them and make changes to your decks, or just kind of also like build every deck. Like I know very many people that play Pauper and own almost every deck, and it's definitely one of the cool feature of this format, the ability of change without being like, oh, I don't want to buy, I don't know, the One Ring to build this deck or stuff like that. But yeah, this is gonna be it for me for the decks of the weekend. This was a little bit of a chill weekend for me as well, and the next one will also be. Then my next big event on the horizon is the Four Seasons, where I'll be playing as always all 3 days. So if you catch me there, I'll be there a whole weekend. On Saturday, I'll have the European Legacy Masters, that is the European Invitational. And then on Sunday, I'll have the main event for season. On Friday, a team event. So I look forward into that. I'll be playing more Legacy in the next days on my channel. In the meanwhile, mostly Modern and maybe some Pauper here and there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you liked, subscribe, and I'll see you every day on my YouTube channel. Bye.